Okay, this is the next section and the end of the chapter. For us, yeah.
There's like 3 little chapters, 3, 4.
Yeah, you can learn all about vectors if you want to. Okay, all right, so there's a second formula to help you find sides and angles of triangles, non-right triangles. Right triangles, of course, you always just use SOHCAHTOA, right? Okay, so this is for non-right triangles, scalene, obtuse. If I'm given 3 sides, SSS, or 2 sides of the included angle, which would be this situation here, right? The angle sitting between the 2 sides. Then I can't use law of sines to find the missing parts, so we have another formula called law of cosines. So named because cosine is in the formula, by the way, right? I've actually had people use this formula and put sine in it. That doesn't work so well. Never gives you the right answer. All right? So law of cosines, make sure you put a cosine here, right? There's 3 versions, just like our area formula yesterday, right? Not yesterday, 2 days ago, I guess it was, right? Okay. So take any side, right? A squared. Here's the other 2 sides, minus twice the product of those sides times the cosine of the A. Right? And it's the same, always matches the side you start with. Now, I've also seen people put plus signs here, right? And these are all multiplied together. You can't move this away from that unless you divide by it. You can't subtract it over from the other things, right? It's a multiplier. Okay. If you know 2 sides in an angle, you'd be able to fill out all this stuff over here and find this side. So you'd find the side first, right? If you know 3 sides, you wouldn't know the number to put here, so you'd have to solve for this, an angle first, right? My suggestion is you always want to start using the largest side because it'll be across from the largest angle. You want to find the largest angle first. Why do I say that? Because as soon as we find an angle, we're going to ditch the law of cosines because you can see it's much more complicated formula, more algebraically, arithmetically intense, right? A lot more work to do than the simple law of sines. So once we get the first angle, we're going to switch to law of sines to find the next angle, right? And I don't want to have to deal with 1 or 2 angles. Is there 1 angle? Is there 2 angles, right? If I always find the largest angle first, be it obtuse, acute, whatever, then all the other angles have to be smaller, meaning acute, right? So I don't have to worry about doing the first quadrant and the second quadrant angles. In other words, there's no ambiguity, right? So in the SSS case, always find the largest angle first. You should never use law of cosines more than 1 time in the problem. As soon as you've used it, you can switch to law of sines and find the next angle. And then the third angle, of course, is the easiest of all. They will reduce a little geometry, right? 180 minus the 2 angles that we already know. Okay. We also have a new area formula today called Karen's. If you're in math club, or maybe you learned geometry last year. It's good for finding area when you know the 3 sides of the triangle, right? The A's, B's, and C's here represent the sides of the triangle. S is the half of the perimeter, also called the semi-perimeter, right? So you find S, you take S minus A, S minus B, S minus C, multiply them all together, multiply that times S, take the square root of the whole thing, and you've got the area of the triangle. A little complicated, but you don't have to find the height that way, which could be doing some other trig and a system of equations, so it's going to be easier than that. So yesterday's, or 2 days ago, the area formula, we learned the 1/2 AB sine C. Good for SAS. This one's good for SSS. So now we know 3 ways to find the area of the triangle, right? The 1/2 BH from long ago, and then the 2 new ones right in this chapter. Okay, so the homework problems are going to involve, of course, law of cosines. They're going to be some which are like the examples we did yesterday, where they just give you information about the triangle and ask you to find the missing pieces. And then there are 4 which are going to be word problems where you have to make a diagram, set it up, and then use law of cosines to answer the question. Right? There may be bearings again, to do an example, or you think you can handle it? Okay, so you've got 30 minutes. Good work.
Life is good. Life is good, Julia. You don't have anything to do.
See something fly over a cuckoo's nest.
I don't want to say anything. It's cutting out.
Hi.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, I like that. It shows a good thing.
Okay, I'm here to raise trouble.
Yeah.
Trouble.